I want to do a little State of the Union. What I like, some of the things we're going to see tonight, I'm pretty sure, is that we're going to have a lot of discussions about how this is the worst. He's going to say it's the worst inflation in the history of the country. And now that we have no inflation, that's not going to be true. You know that to not be true. The worst inflation that we've had recorded, so there are eras when we just don't know what the inflation actually was. But the one we can know right off the bat is that in 1980, March, inflation was nearly 15%. At the height of the pandemic, we had 9.1 inflation. That's really bad. It was not the worst in the world. Well, in the world we're talking geographically, it was the worst to a lot of people. I mean, but our inflation's still above 2, but it was trending down when Trump entered office. He's done pretty much little to help with that. He will probably say about how we're the hottest economy in the world right now. That President Biden, when he was sleeping while you were trying to get a job. I'm pretty sure it's the talking point he does now. And now that we have the most working people in American history. So there was basically no job growth last year. There are more people working than ever. That is true. But that's 159 million or so that are working. It is the largest workforce spin. That also has population growth. We are also the largest we've ever been as a population. But that's due to a lot of things. There is slow job growth. It's messy, but that he's going to make a lot of claims of being the hottest economy ever. We're going to have hearing things about crime being a mess. 125 years, it's the lowest crime ever. And since like 1900, he's going to say, oh, that's like, and crime was pretty bad during the pandemic, but it was coming down. And this is a thing where wherever he feels like targeting, he tells us how horrible the crime is, and we can get a hold of that. So crime coming down, he can take that credit on some level, I suppose, but it's not much that he can actually do. He will also talk about the border, that we have the worst. Went from the worst border in history to the best. I was like, that's not a thing. Claiming the border is the worst and best is not a thing. And like that, when you are not argue that is not a bit of, yes, there were a lot of people there were a lot of contacts at the border. Yes, the closing of the border minimized a lot, but that started going down. There were best and worst border. That's not a thing that we should be talking about it as a bit there. That's a little messy to talk about. It's ugly. And it's frankly semi-xenophobic. It is pretty xenophobic. Immigration has always been part of the United States. And that leads us on a path that is very